Welcome to Review Rewind, the podcast where a couple with varying backgrounds and taste watch beloved movies and answer the questions, was it good? I'm Krista.
And I'm Mike.
And today we're going to be discussing
Raiders of the Lost Ark. Same composer.
I can't think of what this do. There we go. I was like, I know it's easy. Do.
Awful.
So, Raiders of the Lost Ark, the first in the quartet.
There's no fourth one.
The first in
the trilogy. And fun fact, it wasn't Indiana Jones and the Lost Ark before that, or the Raiders. It was just Raiders of the Lost Ark. Yeah.
Oh, that's good to know. Well,
so
the first movie. I promise I'm here, guys. Before we came into this, I was like, what movie did we watch again? So anyway, Raiders of the Lost Ark was rated PG. It was an action-adventure movie. It was directed by the one and only Steven Spielberg. The screenplay was written by Lawrence Kasdan, and the story was written by good old George Lucas and Philip Kaufman.
I just wanted to make that distinction because, I think George Lucas gets a lot of credit for this movie. He did produce it, so he did have a hand in it. Mm-hmm. But he really helped develop the story. He didn't necessarily write the screenplay.
Mm. It released in theaters on June 12th, 1981. It was distributed by Paramount Pictures. It had an estimated budget of $18 million. I had to think about that.
You looked at that and you were like,
I was like, how many zeros does that mean? In opening weekend in the U.S. and Canada, it grossed $8,305,823.
Or $8.3 million.
Then you should have written $8.3 million. I'm following the script, Michael. And worldwide, it grossed $389,925,971.
$390 million.
Or almost $400 million.
Now it's time for the plot. All right.
That was a good one.
Should I
Can you read it?
Because it's based in 19...
The year!
Yeah. The year was 1936. No. The year was 1936. An archaeologist... Oh, gosh. I'm already flubbing it. An archaeology professor named Indiana Jones is venturing into the... Sorry, I'm losing it. Venturing in the jungles of South America, searching for a golden statue. Unfortunately, he sets off a deadly trap but miraculously escapes. Then Jones hears from a museum curator named Marcus Brody about a biblical artifact called the Ark of the Covenant, which can hold the key to human existence. All right, we're going to have to talk about this one after. Jones has to venture to vast places such as Nepal and Egypt, the two places he goes to. This plot is so
Get
dumb.
through the plot.
Oh my gosh. To find the artifact. However, he will have to fight his enemy, Renee. How did Belloc?
Yeah.
And a band of Nazis in order to reach it. Okay, sorry. I was listening.
This is an awful plot
I know.
Also, first point of fact, my middle name is Renee, so you should have known how to pronounce that.
Yeah, but you don't say it like he does. Even though you spell it with the little...
Renee.
Don't you spell it with the little thingy?
I do.
So, Renee.
I don't know. My parents did not, but I did. Apparently somewhere in elementary school, I thought there was an accent on it, and I put it on there. And then I think when I was filling out
Renee.
Renee. And then I was filling out something in high school, and Mom's like, there's no accent on that. And I was like, oh.
Whoops. Okay, so let's talk about this plot real quick. The year is 1936.
Yep.
True. An archaeology professor named Indiana Jones. Also true.
Side note, who would name their child Indiana?
Have you not seen the third one?
I told you that last night. I don't think I've
Sean Connery clearly names his kids. uh, I think it's a joke. It's like the dog was named Indy. What was that?
My throat, like
I'm
gurgling.
fighting back a burp too, so we're both struggling. Okay, I don't like that this is like telling the plot of the first 10 minutes of the movie
Right,
that really
okay,
don't
that's what I
have
was
to
saying.
do with
I was like,
the rest of the movie.
this is just like a really brief synopsis of the movie, not
Yeah,
but
not a good plot.
yeah.
Then Jones hears from museum curator, which that makes it seem like they're strangers, but clearly Jones works for this man.
Yeah, I was
like they're
friends.
partners.
I honestly, if I forgot he was a museum curator.
About the biblical artifact called the Ark of the Covenant. That makes me laugh a lot of like, have you heard of this one thing? I don't know if anyone's heard of it. It's crazy. And then the key to human existence. I don't think anyone
They
ever
never said
made
that.
that.
Yeah, they were
No
just
one
like, this
ever
is
made
very
that
rare.
connection. So Brody, when he talked about it, was first off like, this is a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, this is probably the biggest thing you've ever done.
They're basically, it was like, it's a big deal because it's lost and no one has ever found
And then copyright. Our washer went off. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it. And
No,
what is
they
it?
did.
Balak?
Bellick.
Bellick. He's like, hey, this is like a cell phone to Jesus. Like, hello.
Hello. Jesus.
And I can't get over that. They went to vast places such
Like
as Nepal
Nepal,
and Egypt, the only two places they went. This is such a dumb. Okay. I just had to really take a moment with that because that is
That
the
was awful.
worst plot synopsis we've ever had. So what'd you think of the movie overall?
I like it. I think it was funny watching it because. So I don't actually think I watched the movie until like late high school. Okay, so I either watched The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, the fourth one, first, like before I saw anything else, or I watched
Blasphemy.
I know, or I watched this one and then watched that, which I think that came out when I was in high school.
You know that scene that we saw in Raiders of the Lost Ark where Indy's like, close your eyes, don't look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole Crystal Skull. That's
But
the
it's a
entirety
great
of
film.
it.
I love that movie. Anyway, so
He survives a nuclear blast in a refrigerator.
it's 100% likely. Sorry, I'm distracted now. I like the movie. In my head, the part of them like finding the Ark of the Covenant, like that whole part is the bulk of the movie. And so when like the later part was like, he's chased, they have it, they're going through the desert and like the bow and all that, I'm just like, I don't remember this happening. I literally feel like I'm like, oh, it's they find the thing, they're in the snake pit, and then the next thing I remember is the Nazis are getting their faces melted off. And I like forgot about that whole, I guess, third quarter.
That island,
Yeah.
that random island, which
I think it's because in my head, that island in my head, I'm like, oh, they're still in Egypt. Like it's just
there's
somewhere.
also in my head too. There's another movie that like almost uses that whole scene like not verbatim, but it feels like it. Where the person's on a submarine or ends up in a water base of some type on some random island, and he has to. Or maybe I'm just always remembering Indiana Jones, but I feel like there's a bunch of movies that use that scene.
But anyway, I think again it fits into the sort of the same trope as Back to the Future, where it's come to be a beloved classic. Harrison Ford is just chef's kiss.
Man cannot run up a hill. Every time they had him going up an incline, he was tripping about, and I was like, "Come on, man, use that core strength."
But I mean, yeah, like I like it. I don't know that I think to watch it a lot.
Yeah, I like it. It's clearly a classic, and I
Mhm.
think it holds a lot of weight as far as cinematography, movie making,
He's movie magic.love.
action. I think the poster of it says "The Return of the Great Adventure."
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's true. Like, I don't know if 1980, 1979, 78 had a lack in these kind of
Had a lack of adventure.
adventure movies like that. But I do think it was the point in time where that was rekindled in America for sure.
Mm.
But overall I liked it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What did you like best about the movie?
What did I like best about the movie? I guess Harrison Ford. He really carries it. Clearly, he's the main star, but he's just a fun actor. He plays the standoffish role really well. He also has great comedy chops.
He just basically plays Han Solo. Han Solo.
Some people say it in the movie as Han.
Oh, he's Han Solo, but not in space.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think there's some connection to that. George Lucas helped build the character, so like there is a connection there, but I think he has his own gravitas in that he does seem competent about his archaeology.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the initial act of digging out the archaeology or like whatever it is, but he seems to have a good recall of events and different things. And when he does the professor role, he does seem to be showing knowledge.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about archaeology, so he could be full of it and I wouldn't know. Which maybe is the point. That's why they picked archaeology.
I liked the first half of the movie. I think like up until they found, not that I didn't like the second half, but like that's my favorite. Like that's to me the best part of the movie is like the adventuring, the figuring out where's the treasure, like that part of it. And I think that's maybe why I don't remember the later part is because it just feels like they found the treasure really fast. And then it was kind of just like, oh, like now we have to keep our hands on the treasure. Now we have to see how the treasure works.
But I feel like that's really just like the last 20 minutes.
I don't know. It felt long and drawn out to me.
The ending.
Yeah, which is why I think my favorite part of it is the hunt.
I think we made the note of like Harrison Ford's only downfall is when he has to act like he's driving because it doesn't
Are
look
you just
believable.
transitioning to a new thing?
No. I'm just saying that the car chase,
Car chase.
the car chase, that was that portion of it. That felt like it was lasting forever.
Yeah, that part feels like it lasts forever.
I think it extends out. But what did you like best of it? Just the first half? Is that what your answer is?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I like the hunt. I like that kind of figuring out. Okay, where is it? What are the clues?
Well,
Who
and
has
then
what?
too, like the
I also
first
like
10 minutes is
Gimli.
us.
Is that his name?
John Ray's.
But isn't his name in the thing Gimli? Or am I just on crack?
Gimli. Showing our stripes a little bit here.
What?
So we don't know our Lord of the Rings.
Oh, no one is surprised by that from me.
John Ray's. Well, how do you say that? Rhys.
John Rysden?
John Rhys Davies. It's RHYS
I don't know.
dash
That
Davies.
guy
Yeah.
is my favorite part too.
Gimli. Good
Okay,
job.
thank
You
you.
remember. Yeah. He's Salah.
Tonight is not our best work.
I think that's his name in the movie. Isn't it? Oh no.
Wait, who's Gimli? Like, what is his name? Gimli in the movie, or is that from?
That's from Lord of the Rings. That was my point.
See, now we've come full circle because I thought that's what his name was.
Salla. Salah. Which not the most creative.
The next question is, who the heck's Gimli in Lord of the Rings? Because I don't remember that either. So apologies.
We'll talk about that in our Lord of the Rings episode. It's bound to happen.
Anyway, let's carry forward. What was your least favorite part of the movie? Besides Indiana Jones's driving. Or Harrison Ford's.
I don't know if there was a part. Maybe the last bit of. Okay, so I guess there's a few things I take issue with that. It doesn't necessarily mean that I did.
You didn't like it.
The film or whatever it might be,
Mm-hmm.
but one thing, man, that movie is so much more gruesome than I remember it.
Oh yeah.
That is a very
Blood.
rated yeah, there's a lot of blood.
Dear.
There's a lot of
Face melting,
demon faces, or whatever they were supposed to be. It just way more intense. Not a kid's movie by any stretch of the imagination. The racism throughout it, that even like Indiana Jones was saying some stuff that was like, come on, buddy. Come on.
Yeah.
So even the good guys have a twinge of racism, and I'm sure the writers would be like, well, it was 1936.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I mean, to a certain degree, I guess if you're trying to portray now, I'm not saying that maybe that's like the one thing they tried to portray accurately, and everything else was wrong. I for sure would think that some of that is probably true, but that's how they would defend it.
Considering that characters in the movie were literal Nazis.
Yeah.
The fact that the racism came out of other characters.
Oh, I get what you're saying, yeah.
Is just like, you had an opportunity where you could have kept it to one group, and it's believable. Nazis, very racist, and yet they weren't the only ones saying racist things. So it was just like, no, come on, guys.
No.
And I do think the ending, once the Ark of the Covenant is shown and it's kind of going, man, it doesn't make any sense. Like, they try to take it from, like, they try to give it this aura of, like, the Bible says this, and they do this and that and the other. And I distinctly remember that if you touched the Ark, you died. And some Nazis definitely pulled the lid off of it.
Yeah. Well, so, okay, hear me out. So, obviously, I remember seeing the first one, and I've seen the fourth one. I truly don't remember the second and the third one. But if you look at the similarities of the first and the fourth one, there's, like, the mystical component, and that's the whole thing is, like, Indy doesn't believe that. So I was like, oh, I wonder if that's, like, a trope that they started in that movie that they carried on in the rest of, like, there's some mysticism around different things. But because I agree with him, like, it's a funny interpretation of what they think would happen if we found the Ark of the Covenant.
But it was also really
fun. And like what's in it and the little ghosty people.
It was very funny that the Ark was in that box with like Nazi paraphernalia, and then that was the moment that God was like, "Well, I'll be in a box,
but not a
but
Nazi.
not a Nazi box. So I'm gonna burn.
Not a Nazi box.
We're gonna burn these Nazi signs off. So it's just a regular box. We're gonna baptize it through fire. You know. But I think that whole thing was just really weird. The fact that Belloc was like, these people were supposed to be people who know this history, and yet he thinks that just because he puts on priestly garments that he could
I was gonna say they didn't
open up the covenant.
I was gonna say they didn't really explain that. Like, why was he dressing like a rabbi then? Like, I know he was trying to be like, oh, we have to prove that it works, but at that point, they, from what I understood,
It's a weird correction. I don't think they were rabbis.
Oh yeah.
I think that just means teacher. I think the people in those garbs were like priests.
Okay.
But I don't. I could be wrong. That could be wrong terminology.
Okay.
But like.
But that he had to put on something and like recite. Because the other thing too is I was like, what is he reciting? Like, where did he read something that said he had to recite this?
Well, and then too, like.
Because I feel like at one point they were saying like, oh, the Ark of the Covenant is just holding like ancient relics, you know, like
the commandments.
Yeah, to Christianity. So like the first point was like
the actual commandments, so just Judaism.
Right. So, sorry,
No, you're good.
I feel like people are just gonna come listen to this and think I'm just total like butthead. I'm like, I'm tired. What I'm trying to say is that they thought it contained religious artifacts, right. And that was the point, was like, we got to find these because they're lost religious artifacts. But then at some point it transitioned to, oh my goodness, this thing can melt people, or like, I know that they didn't know it was going to melt their faces off, but that it was like, at what point did someone say, hey, no, this is actually like super powerful? And like, what does the guy say?
Well,
I can't find it.
The secret to humanity,
the key to human existence. Like,
well, there is a plot point where them trying to open it makes sense in that the Nazi general or whatever wanted to take it straight to Hitler, and Belloc was like, "Do you want to take it to Hitler?"
Yeah,
and it not work.
Yeah,
and it be empty.
But yeah, but then like the whole thing was like, well, let's carry it to a remote hill on the
desert.
desert.
And that was the thing. Like, to recall some of my Bible history, I'm pretty sure they had to. Oh, now I'm blanking. Now I'm gonna look like. Well, but there's like specific things that happen that are involved with the care and the usage of the Ark.
I guess
that they just took it to like this weird island platform.
It was like, the bottom line is, it started out as, let's find this lost ancient religious artifact that has, you know, something that's been lost to time. And it's, you know, that alone makes it worth a lot of money too. This is a powerful thing and we need to make a performance for it.
But I think that was Belloc's intentions the entire time.
But they never said that.
I think they kind of inferred it, and they inferred it in that when they're in the bar, that bar scene where right after he thinks Marion was killed, he's talking to Belloc, and Belloc is trying to say like, this is the way to communicate to God. This is your one thing that will give you that thing with God. Like, he gave it way more reverence.
I don't know.
I get where you're coming from, but
it felt a little random.
It felt forced for sure.
Yeah.
It was suddenly like, oh, you're in
my least
Temple
favorite
Regalia?
part
Like what?
Of the movie. Did I say fart? I think I did. My least favorite part of the movie is not, okay, again, like, this isn't like, you know, like, I hate it. It was just like, I didn't enjoy the second half of the movie. Like, I don't feel like it, you know, has the same oomph as the first half.
It's not as energetic.
It's not as captivating. Yeah. I also forgot how annoying Marion or Marion? I can't remember.
That's a great question. Marion.
Marion. That's my grandma's name.
And what an annoying person that
No.
character was.
Yeah, I didn't like how they portrayed Marion in this. Like there were parts of it where where it's like where she was sassy and everything, but then it was just one of the things I'm like I can't figure out her personality because at one point she's like sassy girl power, but then she's also like throwing herself at Indy and is like I can't do this by myself, Indy. So I don't know. I just feel like she was more annoying. And I mean, again, to bring up the greatest movie in the quartet, the fourth one, I enjoyed her in the fourth movie.
I'm just gonna leave it to George Lucas is bad at writing women.
Yeah.
Like he is really bad. And then we can also say that the other guys don't know how to write women, and maybe guys should not write women because they're not good at it.
So, who was your? I mean, you kind of answered this, and what was your favorite part? But who was your favorite character?
The Nazis. No. That's skateboard. We thought we had another ghoul, but it's just a kid and a skateboard.
Just the weekly ghoul.
I think this is one of the few times so far where my favorite character is still the main character.
Indeed.
Yeah. Because we watched a lot of movies.
Sorry, I'm being.
We've watched a lot of movies where the main character wasn't necessarily our favorite character.
Yeah.
And this one is very distinctly. Because, if we watch Star Wars, I don't know if Luke is people's favorite characters, especially in A New Hope.
You're talking about the old ones. I was going to
But
talk about the new ones.
The main character in this one.
Our washers now are. Maybe that's probably the dryer.
But the main character kind of held the ground for me. And it's Harrison Ford, and there's something to say that he is quite a standout character.
Yeah. Is it weird that I like it ever like the tiny 1% less because of how I'm realizing that Han Solo and Indiana Jones, like their character profiles are very similar. That's my chair.
I would argue that you kind of have to look at that in the scope of
the writing.
No, Harrison Ford's entire career, because he basically just plays Han Solo in all the movies he's in.
Anyway.
So, who's your favorite character? Han Solo? Is it Han Solo?
It's Han Solo. No, what was it? Salah.
I would assume there were like 5 ways that it was said.
Yeah. I like that guy that's Indy's assistant because he's funny.
Yeah. And then he sends his kids into a bar full of guns.
Yeah. Uncle Indy, Uncle Indy. That part was funny.
Alrighty. Was there something you didn't understand about the film? I think somehow we always answer this question before we get to it, but I more I think about it, the more it doesn't make any sense that suddenly these Nazis were taking the Ark to this random place. What island were they on?
I think what's funny is that's what I'm noticing a lot in like the movies we've been watching is these older like 80s movies all have like big plot things where we're just like, I'm not really sure how you came to that. And maybe that speaks to movie making just in that, I was about to say time period. That makes it sound really old.
Hold on. Where did he get the garb? Because
you don't have priestly attire, just
the chest plate.
Well, remember
it has 12 gems that represent each tribe of Judah.
Well, remember they were talking about how they were going all over the globe, or how the Nazis were going all over collecting religious artifacts.
I know, but why did they assume?
I feel like this is the piece that they didn't communicate in that, but they were trying to say that yes, they were trying to capture, the Nazis were trying to capture it to harness this like power that was in the Ark, and that's why they were getting all. Guys, I'm piecing it together for us. That's why they're trying to gather all these religious artifacts. But that wasn't outright like communicated. It was just like all we really got in the background was this is what the Americans intercepted from the Nazis, that they're trying to get this thing.
Well, and I think to extend that thought of it feels short-sighted because it was in the beginning of the movie, we're saying that Hitler is really into the occult and is trying to get all this religious things that could have power, whatever it might be, to the end of the movie of, hey, we found the Ark of the Covenant. So the reason it doesn't make any sense to me is, does that mean that Belloc was always going to try to open it before it got to Hitler?
I think it's
Because if it was they went back to Hitler and then he had it, that transition would make sense. But did he have it on the base? Is it in his luggage?
I guess I interpreted it as like they had been doing all this stuff, and before they brought everything back to Hitler. Although I just remembered something we haven't talked about yet. The warehouse at the end of the infinite things the U.S. government
Even more questions. Because
I mean,
so there were a few things. One, that box had writing on it. So were they saying that God in the scope of Ark is like, hey, had slavery.
Nazis are a no, but
you technically a large percentage of your population actually supported Nazis prior to Pearl Harbor and us getting into the war. But like that part alone was just kind of weird. And then how impossible that warehouse was. It was
so big.
It was structurally,
and that's the one that's in the fourth movie.
Inappropriate,
right? Like that's where they find the crystal. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. I really want to watch the fourth one.
That's what we get into. We start one movie and now you're like, hey,
I gotta see them all. I'm a series kind
and then I guess I saw this on the YouTube.
On the
oh gosh.
I saw this on the YouTube.
I should have looked up who the actual writer, but it was the Cracked show After Hours. But one of them, the writer brought up a point of just the questioning of Indy's character, in that Indy finds all these miraculous things. And we could talk about the other movies, but if we just focus on Raiders of the Lost Ark, he finds God's box. Like, it is God's.
Mm-hmm.
It belongs to God, Yahweh. And it does bad things to bad people. And then he, like, at the end of the movie, he's like, oh my God, they're not going to research it. Instead of being like, hey, God does exist. There is a God, and sin will not be accepted by any means. So, like, that could have literally changed the path of World War II. And yet he was just like, no, they're not going to research it. Shoot. Who's going to research
he still
it?
Didn't believe.
Which is...
He's a survivor. Not gonna get him.
That was a moment.
I'm fading.
All right.
Now it's time for the review rewind. You just left me hanging there.
Yeah, because you've hit probably like 8 copyright infringements on this episode alone.
But that's ours.
Rewind.
No, we're doing. Oh my God, you guys! Do you see what I have to work with? What mediocre skill?
They can't see anything.
Do you hear what I have to work with? Mediocre skill.
So this is the part of the podcast.
Rewind. That's it, Michael. Continue.
Would you like to stage some more? This is the part of the podcast where that's my. Hold on, let me get my NPR voice. This is the part of the podcast where we. This is the part of the podcast where we review some. We rewind some reviews. We look back at the ripe old age of 1981 and look at what some of the publications that are still around said about this. Now, the people who made them may or may not be around. That's not the point. I didn't even have to add that. I just got sad. All right. Chris is
Great.
going to read a positive review. I'm going to read a negative review. And just to kind of give a glimpse, overall, critically, it was enjoyed. I think it had an 8.5 from the critics' review, but there were a lot of really positive reviews. So,
Time magazine gave the movie a 100 out of 100. Sorry. In a review written by Richard Schnickel. Schnickel?
You don't have to read it, but I don't know. I left it in. So you're gonna
Schnickel?
read it.
I like his name.
You're Ron Burgundy.
Ronberg.
If it's in there, you're going to read it.
Yes. Raiders of the Lost Ark has it all, or anyway, more than enough to transport moviegoers back to the dazzling thrill-sated matinee. I should have read this. Thrill-sated matinee idols of old. It is surely the best 2 hours of pure entertainment anyone is going to find in the summer of 81. That was a struggle.
The New Yorker gave it a 40. Seeing Raiders is like being put through a Cuisinart. Something has been done to us, but not to our. Something has been done to us, but not to our benefit. What the?
So my first question is, we're like what?
It's like a blender.
Cuisinart is a brand,
right? But
now, like that has other things.
I know, but
did it start out? Now I need to know. Did it start out as a blender, or was it
might be a food?
Was it a shoddy blender?
Food processor.
Food processor.
I think that's how it.
Mike is looking at me with so much confusion in his eyes, trying to see if he identified the right kitchen tool. Because as no one calls me, I am the queen of the kitchen. No one says that.
Because you totally cook more than I do.
Actually, I had a deep thought the other day that I was like, I really enjoy cooking and doing meals, and I would like to.
You're more than welcome. Okay, this is a conversation for another time. So 140. Now, I think that we are in a not really a unique position, but it is 2022. We are the world. Young couple living in Southern California. Not that that really has anything to do with it,
We're
but
middle-aged now, aren't we?
you're not. I'm not. I'm spry. Anyway, so we're looking at this almost 41 years after it came out. So that's it's a while for a movie.
Yeah.
So we have been saturated with loads of adventure movies. We have the Mummy series, which is great.
We got superheroes.
National Treasure.
National Treasure is the national treasure of America.
Nicolas Cage.
Cage.
We have been thoroughly exposed to the talents of Nicolas Cage.
Who would win in a treasure hunting competition? Indiana Jones or Nicolas Cage?
He went bankrupt trying to get real treasure, so I'm going to say Nicolas Cage.
Really?
Like really into fossils. Like there's a movie that came out with Pascal the Mandalorian, Pablo Pascal.
The Mandalorian.
Where it's a ridiculous story, but it's kind of based on his real life, where he's like in debt, and so he needs to do some movies that are just like paying his bills. But this movie goes to the extreme, and like, I want to watch it anyway. But my point in all of that is, this was not a new idea to us.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think back to what it would have been like in 1981. Star Wars had just come out.
Did it? I thought the first one came out in 84.
78. Star Wars? 78? Don't make me a liar, Google. Oh.
I could be. All I remember is
77.
Okay.
Even earlier. That was close.
That tracks a little bit better. Because
So 77, and then
I was going to go into a long-winded story about that. Whatever.
About what?
About how I never
Ruined my story.
mind. Dude,
Shoot. Now you got me in the whole.
just get out. I don't know. Get out.
I got so angry.
You guys are
Um,
tired.
So, 81, and then Empire Strikes Back.
Are you
Well,
gonna say Emperor's New Groove?
Emperor's New Groove, 1983. Blade Runner was 82, and then Return of the Jedi was crud. Both the first two Star Wars, A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back, came out
So
before
there
this.
have been 2 Star Wars.
Yeah. So like this was kind of a new take on adventure movies, but it wasn't the like
Yeah.
thing then. But now we've been so saturated. So we're kind of taking it from a different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
What grade would you give it? You're looking over to the side like it. Are you looking at this ABC chart? 80. So B, almost a B plus.
Like I guess yeah.
I'd give it a B plus.
Yeah. Like I mean, you could round me up to a B plus. Like
I might even say an A minus. Like that cusp of B plus, A minus. Because there are a lot of things that are dated. There were a few shots. The first time Indy uses his whip, that was the
great.
worst cut.
So good.
That was really bad. And it's supposed to be Steven Spielberg, this great director. And it was like, that was bad. That was not good. But good story overall. Good direction. Good view. It was fun. I'll give it an A minus, B plus.
I'm gonna stick with a solid B plus.
B plus.
Not A category for me.
Okay. I think that's fair. I think considering the time, everything, that is fair. Don't rub your eye on the microphone.
To be fair, I was trying to itch my nose.
Okay, from here, it just looked like this. Like it just right there.
I'm trying to look at.
All right. Now that you've heard Krista at her very tired,
At her very best.
this was Review Rewind. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at review.rewind or Review Rewind Pod. I don't know. I always forget. I should probably get this together.
And in closing, be kind. Were you not done yet?
No, because
excuse me.
make sure to
Just kidding.
subscribe. Make sure to subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Wherever you pod.
Wherever you pod. And until next time.
Sorry. Be kind. Rewind.
I think that's like copyrighted material.
Who's coming after us?
Do you really want to risk it?
Be kind.
Always
rewind,
review your rewinds and
rewind
rewind your. All right, bye.
Bye.